I mean, why did he do it? Why did he take my place? It just doesn't make sense. I guess I should introduce myself. Barabbas is the name. But I guess you all know that from all the wanted posters plastered around. I'm not the most popular man in these parts. My band and I are rather notorious, actually. You may have heard of the Jericho Uprising. A group of us led a protest rally against the Roman occupation, and it turned into quite a scuffle. Well, I was the ringleader in that one. And the road between Jerusalem and Jericho has not been a safe road to travel ever since my men and I took up residence there. I'm sorry to say, we're responsible for a string of robbers along that stretch of road. Killed men once or twice too. We tried to just target those supporting the Romans, but nevertheless, so I guess it's no surprise that two of my accomplices and I were eventually caught. They threw the book at us, saying we deserved the very worst punishment they can think of. So they sentenced us to die on the cross. A slow and agonizing death. One nail in each hand, one in the feet, and until finally, yeah, well, you get the picture. It was decided that all of this would happen just before Passover. Everyone would be in town. This would be a good time for the authorities to show the people exactly what they do to rebels like us. Well, on the day of the execution, the three of us were in the holding cell near Palace. While we were there, there was another prisoner thrown in with us. He had been treated quite badly. He had bruises all over him from some pretty hefty beating he had taken. They tell me the soldiers were responsible. That doesn't surprise me. It was quite ironic that he was accused of leading an uprising just like I was. But he certainly wasn't like me. I mean, I can look at this man and tell he had never done anything wrong. There was no way he was capable of doing some of the right things I had done. The most incredible thing was that he didn't speak a word to defend himself. I mean, he didn't say a mumbling word. I had heard a bit of the rabble outside. So I began to throw a few taunts myself. If you are indeed the Son of God, why don't you burst your way out of here? And while you at it, why don't you let us all out of here? Come on now. He didn't speak a word. But for some reason, it just didn't seem right to continue. It just didn't seem right. I heard a roar from the crowd earlier as they sent up this chant. Crucify him! Crucify him! Crucify him! The roar of the crowd was so mighty till it nearly knocked me off of my feet. Wow. As they chanted, crucify him. You'd think it was me out there, not him. Eventually, both he and I were marched towards the crowd. It was Pilate's custom on special occasions to get the crowd to choose between a prisoner as to who they would have to be released. When he asked, which of the two do you want me to release to you? A unanimous roar, Barabbas, filled the streets. I was nearly knocked backwards by it all. I just couldn't believe it. It was obvious who the guilty one was, and it certainly wasn't him. Then Pilate asked, what must I do with the one they call King of the Jews? What must I do with this man they call King of the Jews? Crucify him! Crucify him! That's what they said. They shouted that. Crucify him. So here I am, released, set free. And there hanging on a cross between my two mates is this man. My Lord. This man. He's there in my place. The nails that were drilled into his hands should have been my hands. The nails that were driven into his feet should have been mine. Should have been yours.
Yes, Lord.
I just can't understand it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, I just can't understand it.
All right. Well.
I don't think I ever will. Don't think I ever understand it. It's certainly not fair. It's not fair. But this man, woo, this man named Jesus, this man, the man they call King of the Jews, this man named Jesus, this man named Jesus, died. But he died for you, and he died for me.
Yes, he did.
He took our sin. Little old wretched me. Oh, little bitty bald head ragged boy. Me. He died for me. And you too. He died. In our place. The sign that read King of the Jews should have said King of the robbers. King of the murder. But he died. He died for me. And he died for you.